This is problem 5 from the 8.1 homework. In it, I'm asked to solve the following system of equations using matrices. This is the method I want you to use for solving all of the systems of equations you will see in this chapter. So the first thing we want to do is solve the systems of equations using matrices. We're given the system 4x minus 3y equals 10, 9x plus 4y equals 1. When we say a system of equations, we just mean two or more equations. Now, when we use matrices, we're going to put the coefficients of this system of equations into a rectangular array that's going to represent the equations in a manner of speaking. So I'm going to do this using ClassCalc. If I open up ClassCalc, because I'm using matrices, I need to find where to input a matrix on my calculator. So I'm going to go to the top right corner. Here it says Switch Calc, and I'm going to choose Matrix. Now it tells me tap New Matrix to create my A matrix, and then tap Enter. So I'm going to hit New Matrix. And for this matrix, what I want to do is I want to represent these two equations that I have. So I'm going to pull off the coefficients from each of these equations. I have two rows because I have two equations, but if you notice, it looks kind of like I have three columns. I have an X column, a Y column, and a constant column to the right of the equal sign. So I'm going to translate these into coefficients where I have two rows and three columns. That means in my matrix on ClassCalc, I need another column. Here it says C with a minus and a plus on it. I'm going to hit that plus button next to that C on this line that has, so we have an arrow, arrow, minus C plus. I want to hit the plus button to create a new column. Now, in this first row, I'm going to pull off the coefficients from my system of equations. I had 4x minus 3y equals 10. So I'm going to pull off the coefficients 4, negative 3, and 10. I'm essentially creating an x column for the coefficients in front of x's, a y column for the coefficients in front of y, and then a column of those constants that were on the right-hand side of the equal sign. For the second row, when I look at those coefficients, I have a 9, 4, then 1. My coefficient in front of x was a 9. My coefficient in front of a 4, or in front of y was a 4, and then that constant was a 1. So again, this first column is like an x column, then a y column, then a constant column. And I can press Enter. Now, what I want to do with this is use a special operation, and the calculators that I use a process called Gauss-Jordan elimination to do this operation, but I'm going to put my calculator into what's called reduced row echelon form. I'm going to abbreviate that reduced row echelon form by RREF. And I'm going to press the RREF button here. Now, I need to call on my matrix A. The row that had the arrows on it now has an A, then an E, then a B, then an F, then a C, then a G, then a D, then an H. I'm going to press that first one and just press it quickly to get the A. I can close parentheses, I don't have to. But as soon as I hit that A, if you notice on the right-hand side appeared another matrix or array. Except this one has 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, negative 2. The fact that on the left we have a 1, 0 and a 0, 1 are the first two elements of those rows is what makes it reduced row echelon form. So if I go backwards from how I created my matrix A and I tried to write an equation here, my first column is an x column, my second column a y column, and then my constant column. So this top row would translate into 1x plus 0y equals 1. That is, x equals 1. The second row would translate into 0x plus 1y equals negative 2, or y equals negative 2. So I can read this as my solution is going to be that right-hand column where the top row is my x value and the bottom row is my y value. Or I'm going to read this as the point 1, negative 2. And again, that's coming from that far right column. So I'm going to go back to my lab, and I have typed in the solution is the point inside of parentheses 1, negative 2. If I check answer, my lab tells me that it is correct. Hopefully this helped. Let me know if you need additional help.